You baby.
Hi, everybody. It's Jay Johnston with the Bar Hill Group at Remax Camosa,
Hey,
host
everybody,
of
it's Andrew
Vancouver
Plank.
Island Time. What?
I'll just blink my lovely eyes.
And this is?
Hi, it's Andrew Plank with LePage.
I was just telling Andrew that he has very nice eyes. Look how lovely they look. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Another week coming up of craziness. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to things opening up. And I was talking with a colleague recently who was saying, it's always slower in the summer because we realtors always tell our clients it's always slower in the summer, and so that we can all go on vacation at some point. So maybe it's self-fulfilling. What do you think?
I totally agree. And I think we talked about realtor fatigue, and I think that that's potentially an issue. I know for myself, after I got my COVID shot, I was in bed at 9 o'clock every night, and people are like, "Where are you?" Because normally I just respond right away.
Yeah.
So, and I, of course, would love to be able to get away at least somewhere up island.
Yeah, you were just showing me pictures of like somewhere on vacation, tropical, with your family. That sounds like that was a few years ago.
It was. They were a little smaller back then, our kids. Yeah. And my daughter came up to me last night. She goes, "Mom, do you realize that we could potentially go to Mexico?" And I was like, wow, before they never really realized the value of a vacation. Yeah. They just took it for granted.
Change of pace. Well, because you're just making so much money. You were always going on vacation. They didn't have any idea. I'm kidding. Kids these days, they just don't appreciate hard work.
Well, I used to work, and I would work and work and work, and then I would just think, okay, I can't wait till December. I just can't wait till December. Can't wait till December. And then it'd go away.
Yeah.
And then January,
We're talking today about real estate apps and what we use for tools in our trade, but we're continuing on this line of conversation. I was having a really interesting conversation with a colleague who takes every Saturday off, and he gives his phone away or whatever, or turns it off, tells all his clients, he puts it into the Schedule A on his listings. Saturdays, he's not available. He tells all agents, don't bring an offer Saturday, it won't get dealt with. And he says it works for him. He's able to spend Saturdays with his family. He says, we all, as realtors, as a community, we should all like choose a day and say, sorry, we're not working this day. Because we do tend to be tail wagging the dog in this industry. But
it used to be that way. Like they didn't work on Sundays. So that was a thing.
Well, I remember as a kid living in Oak Bay, how everything just shut down on a Sunday, and it was, nobody would work on a Sunday, and it was just a regular thing. And it seems like that has changed. Yes.
I grew up in Ontario, and they had a big debate about that when they had Sunday openings. And I was thinking as I was driving on Sunday, and we were accepting offers on Sunday that I had not planned, but the seller wanted. So we went with that, and like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, and I've seen our colleagues in some of the online forums talking about that. Like, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we make offers on Sundays or on a holiday Monday or whatever it is? When we do follow our clients' instructions, but we are able to guide somewhat, and we can choose to say, this is just part of my business practice. We have to get strong with that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's first of all do the stats, then we'll get to talk to apps. So it's another busy week in real estate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, end of the month, 304 new listings, 234 pending. So again, we're building up our inventory again, which is great to see.
That's the last week, the last 7 days, the new listings, 304.
Yeah. So last week of May. We're in May, right? Yeah. I've lost track of.
Price decreases 50, price increases 7, And then sold, of course, it's going to be a big day today. I know I have closings today because it's the end of the month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And often they tie into rentals. And in this case, I had clients who were looking for a home, and we ended up having to put them in a rental for a couple of months before they took possession. So that's why we chose this date.
Yeah. So yeah, the end of the month, which is super hard on all the movers and all the lawyers and all the mortgage brokers, because everything is condensed into this very tight package at the end of the month. And next I've got I think it's the July 1st weekend is going to be quite busy, because that falls, of course, on the end of the month. And then we've got BC Day, August 1st, which as a realtor I keep forgetting about. And our office sends out a reminder to the agents about a month before BC Day saying, hey, if you have any closings on BC Day, make sure you change those. Because
I had my assistant go through and block Mondays off, like a long weekend Mondays off, so that I wouldn't book any completions.
We had to make one change because we did one on BC Day, and we had to change that up. And of course, everybody was agreeable to that, but it does mess things up. Again, there is tenants and so forth.
I once had a possession on July 1st. I'll never do that again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's no fun.
Okay, so net unconditional sales for May is 1,013. For May 2020, it was 457. So we almost doubled there. Mm-hmm. And then new listings were at $1,299 compared to $1,095 last year. Obviously not normal last year. This is more normal this year. And then active listings were still at $1,489. That's when we started in the business in 2006, it was fast at 3,200. And so we have low inventory.
We have 1,000 less listings on market than we had last year. And, last year we still had low inventory. So it's pretty low. It's definitely low. I mean, with 1,200 agents, is it 14 now? Sorry, 1,400 agents. That's, one property per agent, I guess, on average.
Okay, so let's just talk a bit about apps.
Yeah. So do you have, in your daily practice, we both are quite attached to our phones. All realtors are. It's kind of a necessity in this business, but then the phones themselves have all kinds of little tools and apps in them. I don't find I'm pulling out a mortgage calculator or anything like that, because that's between the clients and the mortgage broker. But
I'll go over my main screen.
Yeah.
So my first app that I like to use is...
Hold up. First of all, are you Android or are you iPhone?
I'm an iPhone.
Okay, good. So I'm Android, so this is good. We'll have maybe some similarities, maybe some difference.
This is the Prospects app. So this is a link to Matrix, which is our brokerage loading tool. And so I can go in and I can just put in a street, like somebody says, Whistler Avenue, whatever. But where it's handy is I can actually share this app with clients. So, and it links up with their share. So I've created my own app and it links up with their matrix. So it's totally branded, the Briar Hill Group.
Yeah.
And all you need is a code, and then it sets you up. What's your favorite app?
Well, I do have the Prospects app as well, and so and in the signature of my email, it always says, you downloaded my app, and it's got that link to that brand and share. And the nice thing with that app is we do set our clients up on portal searches, which kind of sends them updates on the criteria that they've said, I want to look for this in this area in this price point. But the app, the Prospects app, which anyone who we're connected with can use for free, lets them search by area. If they're in an area, like what's around me? Is there a listing nearby? Oh, what's that listing worth? They don't have to look up the street even. They can just say like, oh, what's right around me by GPS? Okay, this one. And and they can send us notes and communicate with us through the app, which is great.
Does it coordinate with your PCS though?
It doesn't coordinate with my PCS is Private Client Services, everyone, and which is the realtor portals I was just referring to. I don't have that one coordinating with that. I do use the Realty Server Exposure program for my client portals. So that's a different app. It's similar in one sense. Let me see if I can get the home screen. And so I can look up, again, if someone says, what's that? You know, I want to see this property or MLS number or whatever. And it's got apps, you know, stats on my listings and where they've gone, and can look at the hot sheets and what the most recent properties are. But that's where I put my clients in as well, is into that app. So,
Okay.
you know, and it's very, I can do most of the work in my day without even pulling up my computer. So, you know, really briefly, like the tools that I use on a daily basis would be, I mean, I'm talking too, like we use the flashlight when we're going into a crawl space on our phone. That's a really useful app. The compass, I use an app called Sun Surveyor, which tells me where the sun will be at a certain time of day, at a certain time of year when we're looking at properties. So, you know, clients are always, you know, which way are we facing, you know? And I've got an internal compass. I don't know about you, but I've developed quite a good internal compass now over the years as to where we are. Yeah. So those are really
I
helpful.
use that a lot. Although I use it to confirm what I'm thinking. A lot of people don't believe me, and I don't know why I know where I'm facing.
They should believe you all the time.
Okay, here's my other one, Docusign.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this also tells me people who I've sent documents to who haven't followed up. And because we are required to send a form called a disclosure representation and trading services. And so I send those to make sure that it goes out. It goes along with a little video that I've created that explains the form. And so usually when people want to purchase, they all of a sudden they're like, we're ready and willing to sign that form. But I've sent it to them.
Yeah, you sent it to them some time ago. We're supposed to, before we get into any kind of in-depth conversations in real estate, giving advice and so forth, we really need to share that information with our clients.
Okay, I've got one more for you.
Fire away.
This one is called SnapStats. And it's a realtor commission calculator because we have to disclose it. Commission disclosure calculator.
Okay.
But I also created a spreadsheet. So now when I send all the offers over, I send the spreadsheet with the name of the realtor, the name of the buyer, the price, the commission we have to disclose. Then I just edited it last night and added taxes. And then I put in the net amount that they get.
Right.
Which is way better than those silly forms.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so I have I don't know if you can see this, I'm turning my phone, but I've got this spreadsheet I built for sale price, purchase price. What are the various costs that might be included, turning them on and off, is foreign buyers tax applicable and so forth. What's the difference, the net difference between the two? So I like that. And I also do the same as you when I've got an offer that I need to review with a seller or multiple offers. I have a spreadsheet I plug everything into. I've got in that spreadsheet a calculator for commission. We are required to disclose the commission payable to that. So that's good. I find, just while I'm going again throughout my day, some of the daily ones we use the, of course, every day we use the Supra app, which is for us to access our lock boxes, move lock boxes on a property, access keys, and so forth. So that's quite an important one. And then the touch-based system.
I don't use the app.
You don't use, what do I do on here? The touch-based app? No.
Oh, I don't use the app, but I do access that. I do access that through Matrix on my phone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now we're talking some real estate apps that we just use on a daily basis. And we're sharing some information back and forth. Jane and I sometimes learn from each other as we go. One of the things that I found really useful is a little, and I'm not sure if it works on an iPhone, but this would be applicable to anyone, not even necessarily in real estate. But there are certain websites that are not mobile friendly. But there is I found a browser called Puffin Browser, Puffin. And from that, so I can go into Puffin Browser and get access to it'll open up and operate the website from a remote station. It's kind of like previewing the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hard to describe, but what it lets me do is go in and operate and build a signing session in my eSign program, which is like your Docusign, as if I was on a real website. And so I can just enlarge the screen and I can move around and do everything I could.
Oh, that's a great idea, because I find when you're on your phone with Docusign, you have to go through the app in a weird way.
Yeah, and sometimes the apps built for our phones are not the ideal, and you really are wishing you had your computer in front of you. So with the Puffin browser, you go through that browser, but it translates it all into being full screen. So
just so you know, nobody's watching us anymore because we're so boring.
I know. That's okay. We're having fun.
Okay, I use WhatsApp as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I use this for people who are like you, Android users, or international clients, because then I could communicate with them effectively. You can video chat and all of that, and it's cross-platform. And plus, it allows me to see if they've opened up the message.
Right.
And it keeps track of, I find it keeps track really well of the conversation.
Good. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, not having an iPhone, and I talk to people and they're like, do you do the whatever the iPhone streaming is for video? I'm like, no, I don't. But I do Google Hangouts with my assistant, because I have an assistant who works with me and she's overseas. So we will do the Google Hangouts for our chat and for our, any video calls where we're doing sharing screen. And then for anything where I just use Zoom otherwise. So I find Zoom works fine for communication.
So you can use StreamYard too, which is this program.
Which is the program that we're on right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't explored that. So, okay.
The other thing I use this little app called Fonto. Which allows me, so I can go into my photo albums here. I can pick a picture. So here is this great picture of me winning, getting multiple offers on a program.
Yeah.
And then I can add another image above it. So I go to my albums, I go to my favorites, and let's say I want to add local. I have a PNG. I add it on here. I can change the size. So then it allows me to brand stuff if I want, which I find really helpful.
So is that kind of like Canva, but just faster?
This is just like, I use Canva as well, but this is just less complicated. So I do, I don't know if you follow me on social media, but
Maybe.
I do local. I highlight local places to eat and stuff like that when I go out for lunch.
Yeah. There's also pictures of you with like big thing.
Yeah. Visiting my daughter. Okay.
There you go.
Turbo scan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So just scanning documents as if it was The Android will just give you that option. So if you take a picture, it says you want to tap to scan it, and it'll scan it and pull it up and convert it if you want, just automatically, which is quite helpful. I like widgets on the Android, whereas like my main screen is got my calendar, my to-do list. I've got to-do list here, and then most of the major items I use regularly, and then I can sort of go to the side here and pull up my other regularly used stuff. I mean, as a side note, this isn't real estate, but I really have found there's a program called Blinkist. And if anyone really likes to listen to audiobooks, Blinkist is free for one a day. Yeah, you've got it as well. And you can sign up on a subscription, and then you have access to their full library. It's kind of like Cole's Notes for audio. takes a full book and condenses it down to maybe 7 or 8 minutes,
Yeah.
15 minutes sometimes. And you get the gist of it. And I don't know about you, but there's many books I've read where the author is hammering you over the head with their point. These are all nonfiction books. So they're all, and various, like they're about business, or they're about tech, or they're about the futurism. They're about psychology. They're about personal growth. And there's just a large amount of content, whatever you want to listen to.
I'm smiling because these are all things that are of interest to you, because I know you. Okay. PDF expert. I'm staying on task here.
Yes.
Great for contracts, and you can annotate them. So I can draw on them if I want.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. See? And then have people sign.
Nice.
Yeah.
We were talking about required documents. One of the documents that we require is to take and personally verify our clients, make sure that they are who they say they are, take ID from them. So there are different, there are forms that we need to fill in for that. I found that it's quite helpful there's one app called FinTracker that I use. There's a couple others out there that are similar. One's called Really Trusted. But with the FinTracker app, you can pull it up and then plug in the people's information. But what I find really helpful with this one is they give me their driver's license. I turn their driver's license around to the back where there's the scan code. I scan the driver's license. It pre-fills all the information. Oh, look at that. I just blew your world away, didn't I, Jane? So that's quite nice. You've got to make sure, because it takes it's all encoded information in that scan. So it takes the old address if someone's updated their address, but generally speaking, it saves a lot of data entry.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, there you go. Make a note. FinTracker or Really Trusted. Both are really helpful. And then, of course, there's things like Dropbox. So for file sharing, if someone says, can you send me, there you go. Can you send me the StrataDocs folder? Can you send me the information you have on this? I can just go in, copy the link, send it to them in a text message or email, and off it goes. And so we're not having to download and send a whole bunch of information all piecemeal.
And I think every freaking realtor should be using a program like that, because what this did, having all these documents in a sharing folder, it allowed people to write an unconditional offer if they so desired, because I had everything available at their fingertips and they could share it with their clients.
I think you and I are going to be the same on this, Jane, but I'm sure you've had the similar feedback of, oh my God, like I so appreciate that you've got all of the information available and how quickly you respond and are able to get it to me, and how organized you are. And that's, a lot of people don't realize they want, this big flashy listing with all of the advertising out, and it's all important pieces. But the back of what's happening, where there's communication between agents, where there's that trust in the information that's shared. I mean, I have worked with some agents where you're fighting to gather information, and you're trying to find enough information for your clients to make a good decision. And the agent hasn't pulled the deeper documents that make it so that the buyer, the ultimate buyer, can go in with a really nice, clean, confident offer. And I think they're costing themselves and their clients money.
And also, it's not only about listings, but we have a buyer folder. Mm-hmm. So we have a current seller folder, we have a buyer folder, and then we have our buyers completed and incomplete. I don't want to show people the names, but then for completed, it's under their name. Mm-hmm. So these are all the completed. So if somebody says, hey, that property I bought, and their name's like, Jane Johnston. So I go back in here and I'm like, here's your testimonial, here's your picture, here's your FinTrack, here's your trade print, here's the accepted offer, here are all the supporting documents for your accepted offer. Yeah. Everything is there.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. No longer are we going down into the crawl space to pull out the banker's box full of old files to say, when somebody says, can you check that contract from 19, 72.
And also, I'm finding like right now the government is asking people for expenses related to the sale of property 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I can pick
Yeah.
it up. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. Give me some
Yeah,
more.
great. I mean, definitely finding, spreadsheets and all that stuff works really well. In me using the Android environment and the Google environment, I use a lot of the Google Forms. I've seen you do that too, Jane. You use the Google form or something similar for your COVID disclosure. When there's a showing, you send this out and say, please fill this information out for you and your clients to ensure that you haven't traveled, that you're not suffering any symptoms. So that gives you, and I use this similar. I have a number of different forms I use when I take a listing or when I'm asking clients to share information about their property. So I really like that. And then for note keeping, I use something called Google Keep. And it's kind of like Evernote, or I'm not sure what you would be. Do you use something like that?
I use actually just my notes on.
Yeah.
What I love about it is that it does cross-platform. So I use the Notes app.
Okay.
And actually, it's funny. Like, so I use this when I do my social media and have hashtags. I have them saved in here. So I just type in a keyword.
Right, and then you can copy and
Next.
paste.
What?
Yeah. Then you can copy and paste your hashtags.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's next level. That's next level, Jane. So yeah, anytime I have a thought, if I meet some clients, used to try to rely on this. It doesn't work as well as it ever did. It never worked as well as I like to hope it would. So, using the note keeping app and being able to throw thoughts into there as they come up is really helpful, because it's very easy to search and it's very quick and responsive. So it's a good one.
Okay, last one.
Nope, I got one last one too.
Hey Siri.
Oh yeah.
Save a note.
I found these items. There were more, but this is as much as I can show.
So then you can save a note like, oh, hey Siri, set a reminder for me to call Andrew Plank at 5 p.m. And it'll set it.
Okay, add it to today's reminders.
Yeah, and I do the same with I've got shopping lists. I mean, whatever platform you're on, there's a similar equivalent, right? So for shopping lists, for you okay there, Jane?
Yep.
Can someone? The last one, I think this one. I've mentioned it before, but there's one called Mighty Text. And so while I'm on my computer at home on my computer and my phone is going off buzzing with a lot of different text messages, I can have a screen on my computer that coordinates with my phone, and so I can type and respond to text messages using this Mighty Text program.
Oh my God, you need to get an Apple, man. You don't need an app for that, man.
Well, it works fine for me, and I'm quite happy. But you're right. We can agree to disagree, Jane. Thank you very much.
I love the fact that, in all seriousness, that I can actually answer my phone on my computer and text from my computer. And what's fabulous is Danielle can text from my computer. So whenever we're requesting showing times with clients, she does it through my texting app on our desktops.
Right. Yeah. So it allows your assistant to step into your shoes and operate on your behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, I hope we didn't bore too many people, but this was helpful and useful, I hope, for some. And
I think for new realtors, this is a really good idea. And I remember doing this when, I don't know, I or you were on the professional development committee, and we actually sat around and discussed all this, because this was probably 10 years ago, because our phones were just coming in, right? And I remember thinking it was so great when I got the app for the flashlight on my Palm Pilot.
I know it's one of the more useful apps out there. I mean, we are always looking into little dark corners in these houses. I was
When
joking.
somebody's like, shoot, I forgot my my flashlight. Don't worry. I've got my phone.
Phones do everything. Everything. Like I said, I don't really need the computer for much at all anymore. And the phone has a big enough screen. It's a race against the aging eyes here, but I still don't need reading glasses yet. So we shall see. Anyway.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Okay, so
Jen.
next week we're going to be talking about the market update.
Yeah.
I actually did a presentation to the ladies at the Union Club last week. And anyway, if people want information about what's going on with the market, please tune in next Monday at 10 a.m. We're going to be reviewing the year to date, and maybe we'll do some predictions about what's happening next month.
Yes. Pull out our crystal balls. Okay, good. Okay,
so how do we get in touch with you, Andre?
Andre, you can reach me, Andre Planche, throughout LePage, 250-360-6106. Apologies for my French. info@andrewplank.com is my email. And you, Jane?
My name is Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Comos, and you can reach me at briarhillgroup.com. My number is 250-744-0775. And if you haven't, please subscribe. We do have lots of tips and tricks, and we'd love to see you. Please ask us some questions about what you want covered so we can make this more interesting for you. All right. Have a great week.
Thank you. I'm off to show a property or two and make some offers. And yep. Bye, Jane. Enjoy.
Bye.
Oh, yep. Bye.